All right, we got our weekly stock market update, weekend edition. So this week, stock market was pretty flat. We started off green at the beginning of the week, and then we ended a little on the red side. S&P was down 0.28%, Nasdaq was down 0.6%. And when we look at some individual names here, a little bit more red than green. You had the healthcare sector up, energy was up quite a bit, technology was mixed. You did have some big movers here like Oracle, great earnings up 24% on the week, Palantir up 11%, Tesla bouncing back a little bit, Apple down 3% this week, and some of your retail trade down on the week as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the charts for the indices. S&P almost near all-time highs, pulling back a little bit. I would love for us to continue to drop 5% or so and then see what happens from there. Nasdaq, same kind of story. We're so close to the all-time high. We'll see where we go from here on Monday, tomorrow. And let's go ahead and look at the chart of the week, which is oil. Oil making a big spike this week, but we are still in this clear downtrend. But oil had a huge day Thursday and Friday with all the geopolitical stuff going on in the Middle East. I believe oil was up 10% on Thursday night and gave up a little bit of those gains, but we will see how oil opens in a few hours here. I'm filming this on a Sunday. And other than that, let's get into some of the news this week. So we had some CPI numbers. They came in cooler than expected, which is good to see. Both consumer and producer prices were down month over month, and we have the FOMC meeting this week. So Jerome Powell's going to give a speech, and they will either cut rates or they will hold steady. The big news towards the end of the week was the Middle East conflict, Israel-Iran escalation, and looks like things are staying hot over the weekend. So we will see the implications of that in the next few weeks. We talked about oil going up, gold going up, and the dollar. Let's take a look at the dollar. I believe the dollar had a rough week as well. Going to the downside. A little bit of a bounce here on Friday, but dollar looking pretty ugly here. So a weak dollar. When we look at volatility, a little bit of a spike here from our recent lows, but nowhere near the tariff pump that we had here. So a little bit more uncertainty creeping into the market. When we look at interest rates were going down at the beginning of the week, and then we had a nice pop here at the end of the week with oil rising again. That's not good for inflation, even though we did just get some good CPI numbers. Those are numbers from the past. If oil stays elevated due to geopolitical tensions, that's not going to bode well for inflation, and that's not going to bode well for interest rates if inflation is a little bit more sticky. Any names I want to talk about this week? I don't think so. Nothing too crazy to talk about. There were some nice earnings like Oracle, but the big news is going to be what's going to happen here geopolitically. Are we going to get some resolution on the tariff deals, some trade deals? There was some U.S.-China talks that are going better, apparently, so some more optimism there, but nothing concrete yet. No other deals that I've heard of. We'll have to wait and see. So this week, what we're looking at FOMC meeting on Wednesday. Are they going to cut rates? What is their rhetoric? What's their speech going to look like? What is their outlook with the softer numbers that we just got in CPI, but also the potential for more geopolitical uncertainty and oil prices? What does the Fed think of all that? So it'll be interesting to see there, and we will be looking at hopefully a resolution with those geopolitical conflicts. And then oil and gold, what is going on there, and the dollar. So that's what we're looking at this week. There's no real earnings coming up here. We're through earnings. All the big tech names are done. But from what I've seen on this recent earnings cycle, things look really good. AI is booming, and we are still so early in this AI trade. If you're not using AI, I highly recommend to go around and play around with it. It's such a great tool. Everyone can find ways to increase their productivity. I'm loving it. So the potential here is so huge, and I think this story is still very early in the first inning of this AI trade. So that is the update for this week. This week, I'm assuming, is going to be a pretty monumental week in the market, but we do have a holiday this week, so it will be a short week. I believe we're closed on Thursday, and then I expect Friday to not do a whole lot because I'm sure people are checked out from Thursday and Friday. But with all the uncertainty going on, maybe Friday will be interesting. So that's all I got for you guys for this week. I will talk to you all soon. Peace out.